I hope that was exciting for everyone. Coming in on a booster rocket, seeing Earth. We've come onto Earth, and now we're human here in these human forms. This is a way to enter into Welcome to Channeling, and today we're going live with Kate Woodley, and I am so excited to have you here with me. And we'll see. We've got a few friends that said they would jump on and enjoy this with us. And I'm just excited to be here. Number one, because my adventures in channeling, it's like they lead me to all kinds of exciting places. And let's see, several months ago, I was on, a Facebook page and people were talking about Commander Ashtar and all this stuff. And I'm like, okay, some of the things that I heard and that were channeled were beautiful and deep. And other people were kind of in this streamline of almost felt like, Battlestar Galactica excitement, there's ships and, all of this dramatic stuff has been happening. And so I'm excited to jump in and speak to Ashtar today, Commander Ashtar. I hope that he's excited to be here, as I have kind of developed a connection with him and the Council of Light and all kinds of things. So I just want to say welcome, Kate Woodley. I'm so excited that you are here. You are a part of what's called Ascension Calling, and she works with many, many people, helping them open to their divine natures, to their guides, and helping bring in messages that help people feel comfortable, grounded, and like they have a mission on Earth. So yes. Welcome.
Thank you. Thank you so much for having me, Gwen. It's exciting to be here. I'm excited. I can feel the excitement of the beings. So we are absolutely going to connect with Ashtar today. What I was telling you, Gwen, a few days ago is that, Ashtar has this beautiful ability to come in with enthusiasm and passion and so much light. And his energy is so out there. I mean, he holds a very high vibration, and he comes with many, many beings. They're all members. I just refer to them as Grand Collective. Some people say the Federation. So I definitely feel them all present. They are also very excited, and they're just honored to have an opportunity to come through, because they really, I would say that the first way I would describe them is that they're very compassionate towards humanity. They're very compassionate towards what we're going through, and they know how hard it is here in our realm. And so we are all part of the same team. We are all here to help each other, to support each other. And my role is just to bring through these messages, but everything that you're going to be feeling is really going to be their energy, their insight, and their wisdom. So they are also wholeheartedly thanking you for making space for them to come through today.
Oh, I am so pleased. Firstly, we didn't have time to connect synergetically. I guess, we say this is something that I do is I offer my hands through to the person I'm with and inviting our guides to connect together. And I'm feeling them reach forward to me, and now my hand is extended, and I do feel the warriors of light through the dragons with me today, which, when I was guided to ask you were asking who's going to be here, who are we going to be channeling? And I said, well, I guess this is who is here, and what do you know? That's who's here, and there may be others showing up. I feel a really strong, beautiful, bright presence, and that may be Ashtar himself. Making himself known to me. And I've just had a beautiful experience, just a little bit getting to know him. I don't want to share the details because, relationships with these kinds of entities, they can be very personal.
Yes, they can.
There's a lot of love that is shared, and they meet you in places that they know you need to be met,
Yes.
And so it's been really beautiful, and I'm excited about this exchange between us. My last episode, both of us, me and my guest, were channeling together. We were both together channeling, and it was kind of this face-off, I guess you could say, as we were channeling messages together. But we'll see what comes through today. The topic we're going to talk about is our missions and what's the difference between our cosmic missions, I guess you could say, and our earthly missions, and the relationships that we take with us along the way. And I'm excited. Whew, that just gave me a shiver. Woo-hoo. I'm excited to delve into this. But first, before we jump in, Kate, I just want you to tell briefly what's important to you that you want to share about how you started this kind of life.
Yes.
You know?
I'll give you the Coles note. So in a nutshell, I've been on the spiritual path for a very long time. Like a lot of light workers, I had another job, I had another career, I had another focus. And let me just say, long story short, that the universe beautifully intervened to knock me off course, not so gently. That's a whole other story. But long story short is the universe allowed me to connect with people, and I believe they are probably part of the audience, that allowed me to channel. They were able to see into my essence and allow me to unfold as a channeler. And once I discovered the ability to channel, as you said, Gwen, it was almost like seeing a whole other side of life, a whole other side of myself, and a whole other area of opportunity and potential as to how I could show up in the world. So when we're speaking of cosmic missions and life missions, I sometimes refer to a cosmic mission as a soul purpose. And the reason why is that we live our soul purpose through a multitude of different experiences, this life and many other lives. So, for example, if my soul purpose is to be a messenger, what I am meant to do in this life is to bring messages of insight, guidance, wisdom, and healing to others. But how we play those roles can switch up a little bit from one incarnation to the next. But as long as we are expanding, as long as we grow into our soul purpose, we bring that into our life purpose. So the soul purpose, or the cosmic mission, however we want to call it, is really a reflection of who and what we are at a deeper level, our essence, what we are here to bring to others. It's what drives us, it's what motivates us, it's what we are the most passionate about. And that tends to shine through in everything we do. So it's bigger than your job. It's bigger than any other role that might define you. You could be a parent, you could be a spouse, you could be a friend, you could be an employee at a company, but at an essential level, you carry the role of your cosmic mission, and you tend to play that out sometimes differently in different life or earthly missions, but there's always that overarching goal. So for example, I have the opportunity to connect with a lot of people who are healers. That is who and what they are at a soul level. But how they have brought that to different incarnations might differ a little bit. But what matters is that the overarching theme is always played out and reflected in the earthly mission. And with the beings in channeling sessions, I help people connect to their past incarnations, to their cosmic mission, to their soul purpose. I help them uncover with, the beautiful insight of the beings, their gifts, why they're here, what they're meant to do, how they're meant to be of service. And that's what people are always encouraged to do in their earthly mission. So we come in, it's very rare that we understand what the overarching soul mission is, but it's just an extension. It's a continuation of what we have likely been doing much of in our past experiences between incarnations, and it's likely where our soul will continue to grow in future incarnations. So that's, in a nutshell, a little bit what I wanted to say about the theme today. It certainly has been very relevant to me in my experience and in my journey. And I'm still learning like everyone else. I'm still, discovering different flavors of what I can do and how I can be of service. And I'm sure that today the beings are going to expand on that for everyone.
Beautiful. I love that. That was kind of like, that was quite a summary there, just summing it all up. One thing that I find exciting is that I think every incarnation maybe gives people an opportunity to experience themselves in a little bit new venue and a little bit new way. I find with this incarnation of myself, like there's never been the same kind of opportunity in the world that I've ever lived in that there is now, and being able to identify the particular opportunities that I get to experience because of the place and the time that I've chosen to incarnate in and what's happening in the world. It gives me kind of a unique way and a unique flavor of my expression to be experienced. So I think that that's really beautiful because, an incarnation in the Middle Ages definitely would not have the same opportunities of expression because of many different things, because of how much light is on the earth, because of, the culture, because of all these different things. But now, me being here, I think that's one thing that sometimes when I sit and I think, and there are moments when I get frustrated and because it is challenging sometimes to live in this day and age, I also say, this is amazing, right? There's this voice that tells me this kind of opportunity, this kind of chance, this kind of life that you're living, you've never, ever had the opportunity to live it.
That's correct.
So grab it by the horns, lady. I mean, that's kind of what my guides, some of them are just like, get out there and do it.
Well said. Well said.
And
And I see that a lot too, just to validate what you're saying, Gwen, is that a lot of people that I work with, they want to be healers. They want to move into the light worker realm, but they have not, through past experiences, felt that they could do that in an untethered way. Because in the past, the powers that be, or, whatever other institutions, didn't want those light workers to express in the way that we can express so freely today. So you're right. We are in a new time. We are in a new place. We are in a reality now where people are actually being encouraged to expand, to leverage their abilities, to be of service. And we do sometimes come across those old blocks. Those are those, residual carryover energies from past incarnations that we are all here to confront, release, and let go of. And this is the life for many people, where they are now being told, this is where you get to shine. This is where you get to do it without fear of being reprimanded or censored. This is where you get to express fully. So let's get over those blocks and be and shine in the way that you were supposed to shine.
yeah, I love that. I mean, in this idea, I talk about a lot about this multidimensional experience, because really this is a multidimensional experience as we open to it. A part of what's happening too, which is an immense kind of work, I would say, is really the bringing together, the alchemization of all of that multidimensionality, of connecting into the intelligence that's around us and trying to use that for our betterment and good. And it is quite a task. It is quite a task. And so part of me, even though part of me says, get out there and grab it by the horns, just even simply being able to breathe and process through and alchemize some of those aspects of us that need attention is a huge work, is a huge work in and of itself. And so that, in a way, is grabbing it by the horns, when we're giving these opportunities to really see into the facets that we can heal, or we can assist healing, we can bring into wholeness. What an opportunity we have. And we have more and more people who have awakened to the skills and to different gifts that they have in order to do that. It's a part of the journey, I think, that we're on.
And what I'm hearing a lot of, just to echo what you're saying, is a lot of people are saying, what am I here to do? What is my role? What is my purpose? So there's a fragment that are just in the process, to your point, of awakening to their purpose. And that's beautiful, because the way I see it is they're coming online. They're really tuning into who and what they are. And then there are those who have already, let's just say, awakened to their calling, to their purpose, but they want to do more. So there's this constant growth. And what I'm seeing is that as the collective consciousness expands, there's a quickening. There's an acceleration of people coming online and more people wanting to do more and to be more. With that, I will share what my beings often, they share it with me. They share it with a lot of light workers who, as I mentioned, are very motivated to do more and ask, what more am I meant to be doing? What is my purpose? What should I be focusing on right now? The beings will always tell them what is in alignment with their highest and greatest good. But a very common message that comes through, and this may surprise a lot of people, is that it's not just about doing more and more. Because remember that as you expand and as your light expands, you are holding more energy. And that can actually be, and you've probably experienced this too, Gwen, that could actually be a little bit difficult to hold that energy and such a high frequency for so long. It's like we're being asked to shine our light brighter and brighter. Well, we have a certain battery life, if you will. And so the beings often tell people that part of how you bring your light and your gift to the world is by learning to find balance between how much you are doing and how much you are being. And the reason why learning to be is important is because that's when you are renewing your light, you are recharging, you are grounding, and then the light that you bring to the world after that is fresh and it's energized. And it takes me back to the lighthouse analogy. This is a beautiful analogy that my wonderful beings have shared in a few past sessions. And what they say is, imagine that the light of your essence shines like a lighthouse. And the brighter the light, the more guidance you provide to those around you. You are responsible for your light. You're not responsible for everyone else's journey. But when your light begins to flicker, when you are overextended, when you are tired, you need a break. And that's when the universe is inviting everyone to just give yourself permission to pause, recharge, rejuvenate, because the light that you bring, when it is intact, bright, and consistent, that is when you are a true, steady, and stable light in the world. So the question shouldn't always be, what more can I do? It is also, what do I need to do to be, to grow, to recharge, and to reconnect? And for those of us who are healers and channelers and messengers and teachers and change makers, we feel that we need to work harder and more, but it's really just about raising the vibration through our light. And a lot of that happens organically. A lot of how we show up for others, how we assist others is really, in large part, a reflection of how strong our inner light is, because that's the frequency through which we create, co-create, and manifest.
Yeah. I want to say amen. Amen, sister.
Amen.
That kind of very message was coming through me, and I was thinking of, how does this get to be expressed? So we're definitely flowing in the same flow here. And one thing that I want people to recognize is that when you find yourself feeling like I have to do, there's a beauty about doing, because the part of that motion actually helps feed and nourish you again.
Yes.
Because it is you in actualization of this energy that is beautiful, that is shining through you, and that and through that movement, it flows, and it flows back through you at the same time. And so you are receiving, but it's a key point for you to be able to know and feel into, are you feeling nourished? Is there a block in that? Are you getting sidetracked, feeling like you have to give? But the true flow is the balance. You are always giving and you are always receiving. You are always an offering and you are always being gifted.
That's right.
And as we recognize that and we feel ourselves in that natural state, that balanced state, then our action will come from a place of that pure love. And we can let go of all of these ideas of what we think we have to be or what we should be doing. Or something, maybe there's action that we're taking to help bolster ourselves to feel like we're on the righteous path or whatever we're doing, that can start to fall away. And we don't have to lean on that anymore, because that true love, that true light is really being held within us and acting through us. And so this is to me, this is the switch into the new world. It's that switch from the 2D, from that paradigm, switching up into a 4D or 5D experience, understanding and knowing that our systems are built in a beautiful way where we don't have to lean on this thought of something is missing or there's a lack, that we can claim the true nourishment of our wholeness. We can claim it. And when we enter into that, our action becomes much more grounded. I'm in the process of doing that more and more in my life. I think this is a journey. It's a path, right? And we sometimes find, oh gosh, I was trying to figure something out, and now I can feel more settled. Now I feel more settled, and I feel like my life is going to shift because of it. What feels important, what comes to me.
And what you're saying is so important, because you talked about the balance of energy, and the energy of giving and receiving is the same energy. And like all energies, it wants to be balanced. It wants to unfold in a very reciprocal way. So you mentioned, the whole flow of receiving and giving. So sometimes we tend to kick into, we're going to give and do more. But sometimes when you allow yourself to receive, what you're doing is that you're opening your entire essence up to giving something that is far more authentic, far more powerful. And so it's about keeping that flow alive. Some people may say, I want to do more and I want to find balance with being more. Others might say it's a matter of, giving and receiving. But a lot of healers, a lot of light workers, I find that they're more and more so encouraged to focus on receiving, accepting, acknowledging, and just allowing themselves to be the recipient of the light, the healing, the energy, and the insight and wisdom that they are driven to give to everyone else. So again, it's got to activate on some level within you, and from there it reverberates and it emanates outwards. So it's about kind of being centered in your own connection, in your own wisdom, so that what's coming from you is truly of the highest nature. So I too have learned to try to balance that. I haven't mastered that quite yet, but I'm aware that I too need to, learn to receive in the same way and with the same force and incentive that I want to give.
Oh, I'm loving what you're saying, and I'm actually feeling this essence of it. And maybe we're going to take a minute here just to be with that feeling of receiving. Ultimately, there's this thought that's coming to me, and maybe this is a great message for some people here. That there's this sensation that often can be found in the body of course, this desire to give. And oftentimes, if we go down to the root of that desire, there may be an emotion surrounding it of lack, of I'm not enough, of I'll find love if I give, something like this. And if we all sit here and feel into that, if we go just one step deeper, taking a breath and allowing wherever that feeling is in our body to just open, we enter into this beautiful open state. I'm going to take 3 deep breaths. For some, they may feel this beautiful essence of the light that they are, the gift that is always here. Some may be in this just open space of potentiality. But as we're here, we can say we have transcended the thought of, this is so cool, I've transcended the thought of giving and receiving, for I am here in my wholeness, and I am simply love. For when we play the game of give and take, we may say our very lives, all that is a gift. And how could we make up for that in any earthly action? Even if we gave our whole bodies, our whole lives, if we tortured ourselves in beautiful ways in order to show our adoration and thankfulness, in a way, we simply, from that space, truly would not be honoring the state of love. But as we accept ourselves in the beauty of our true nature, we simply offer that to all around us. And so we need not walk in deficits. We need not walk feeling like we should or have to. We may simply walk in and as an expression of love, offering compassion to those who find themselves in this feeling of lack, of separation. This is the true gift that we may now offer. But wherever you are, if you simply offer in love, allowing it to flow from you, you will become further and further acquainted with the equanimity and truth of who and what you are. This is the simple message here to all who are listening and feeling into this. We are excited that both you and Kate are sharing this message, and we can further talk about other things. But thank you for allowing us to share this with you and all who are listening here today.
Thank you, beings.
I'm excited. We've got a couple of people chatting with us today. Maureen Kelly is here. Hello, Maureen. And Peter Dennis.
Hi, Peter.
It's so nice. When we go into channeling with Ashtar, Maureen wants to know anything he would like to tell me, Edward. So Edward is who Maureen channels. So this is fun. We're doing council consultation between different channeled entities, which is great. All the things that we can do in this lively interaction that we have. But I think there's something really quickly I want to cover about missions and our missions that we have and how you connect into that. And the word Akashic record comes up to me. And I was just wondering if there was a way you could describe visually how you enter in and you experience and you connect with people and their missions and how you see that in them.
Yes, that's a really good question. It often feels like I am connecting into the records, but I'm seeing into their soul. As soon as I close my eyes to get into state, I see into the energies. I see people's energies. I see how they are interacting with the energies of everyone and everything around them. I see the energy between them and their beings, which for me has made teaching people how to channel really fun because I can see people connect and on what level they connect into. What tends to come when I channel is really, it's a conglomeration of information from my guides and my beings and whoever I'm channeling for, their guides, their higher self, their beings. So it's a large gathering and the information comes through and it comes through in a multitude of beautiful different ways. Sometimes it's claircognizance, which I really feel in and around the crown chakra. It's almost like an infused knowing, but that really is accompanied by clairvoyance. So as I mentioned, I see the energies, I see cords. Of course, this is all metaphorical, but it's just to represent what sometimes might be holding someone to a person, a situation, or a circumstance that may be serving their greatest good, or that maybe they need to take a deeper look at and understand what needs to be healed, what maybe needs to be cleared or surrendered. So it's more than the Akashic records. It's just an entire energetic field. But the feeling that I always feel from the beings is just this tremendous compassion, this gentle love, and there is never, ever any energy of judgment. It is just unwavering support and unconditional love. And that's usually what tends to come through. And it's a multitude of information. Sometimes the beings will come through and they'll kind of step into this energetic circle very prominently. And sometimes they come through with a very strong message. And sometimes it's almost an orchestra of different energies and knowings and visions that just tends to come through. So it's like dancing in a very large arena. And I just allow myself to be open to the energy. Sometimes past lives are shown, sometimes present situations are shown, but it's always with the purpose of helping someone connect to the learning that they need to connect with in this life. So I always tell people that whatever comes through is for your good. It's to help you connect with love. It's to help you really recognize who and what you are at an essential and authentic level.
Beautiful. I love that. I'm feeling the urge that it's now time to jump in and hear some words from Ashtar. And if Ashtar has a message for Edward, that's perfect. Or anyone here, including me.
Absolutely.
I'm very open and would love to hear words from you, and perfectly also just if Ashtar, if you want to speak about these missions that we have and perhaps give us some information that could help assist us. Thank you so much, and I'm excited to hear from you.
Thank you. He is present. I'll just take a very quick moment to connect. He is here with many others. It is quite a large gathering. They are very excited. They're very grateful. And so let me bring them in. Hello, our dear ones. It is Ashtar, and I come with many, many beings. As always, we are honored. We are honored to have this opportunity to speak through this one, Kate, but to connect with all of you, not necessarily only through our words, but to connect into all of you through our hearts. For we are always with you. We are never far. There is so much that we wish to say. And what I, Ashtar, will say to so many of you is that those of you on the large part who are called and perhaps motivated to tune in today, we wish for you to know that many of you, not only in this incarnation, but as well as in many of your past experiences, have been connected to us through this larger collective in more ways than you are aware of. That to many of you, we are family. And in essence, we are all family. That we are a large collective of beings who are here to guide, to show you, we will say, a greater and higher path, the path of highest potentiality for humanity. And so as part of your present mission, I will simply, for the sake of simplicity, refer to this as your present lifetimes, that you are all here to, we will say, accomplish something, but to remember that not all that you are here to accomplish necessarily relates only to what you are here to do, bring, and give to others. But it is also, we will say, an accomplishment with regards to how you learn to open and, we will say, extend and expand your light. For many of you are here to anchor higher light. And what this means is that in order to bring through this higher energy, you have had to overcome on an individual level many of your own blocks. You have had to have the courage to connect into this very beautiful yet sometimes enigmatic spiritual and cosmic realm. And so we are here. We have long been connected to many of you. We do have an awareness of your respective life purposes, as well as many of the roles that you have played in a multitude of past incarnations. In some of these past incarnations, some of you have been and worked alongside of us. We still and continue to work alongside of you. Perhaps this time it is in the energetic and spiritual realm, but nonetheless, we stand with you shoulder to shoulder. We play many roles. We are your guides. We connect in with your guides and your higher selves to help you open your eyes and open your hearts to the very, we will say, lessons that you are here to grow into. And the more you are open to connecting with all of these lessons, the more expansive your light becomes. And it is with this expansive state of being that we are in many ways allowed to connect with you in a grander way, a way that allows us not only to assist you, but in essence to assist the collective. And so all this to say that for some of you, your earthly mission is one that you are aware of, but we wish to make you aware of the fact that there is much that you are here to do that many of you are unaware of. And the question as to whether it is important for you to be aware of this or not becomes less important than whether or not at an essential and deeper level you have opened up to your purpose, because your purpose exists multidimensionally, because in some ways your purpose continues to move forth in a way that your conscious mind has not yet become aware of or connected to. And so it is in many ways the nature of your essence, it is the way in which you hold your vibration that allows you to operate and function in a way that fully aligns with both your cosmic mission and your earth mission in ways that perhaps you are only aware of at a partial level. Does this make sense to all of you, our dear ones?
Yes, I'm excited to hear this. For what I feel like I'm hearing is that sometimes a mission, because we are in a multi-dimensional experience, that it's not all on Gwen's shoulders per se, that in this realm, in this specific earth experience, that there are many of me that are dedicated, and all together we rise. Is this what I am hearing?
Yes. We will use an analogy to perhaps elaborate on this. Your stream of consciousness as it relates to your human experience in comparison to the realm and the level of expanded consciousness that many other beings simultaneously experience. You are capable of tuning into, of focusing on, and of being consciously aware of but a fragment of all that is unfolding within your experience. And so you are aware of the conscious aspect of you, the part of you that is etched and perhaps very present in this earthly realm. But there are many aspects of you, multidimensional layers, if you will, that continue to experience and expand, even in ways that extend beyond what your mind can comprehend, beyond what your mind can register and focus on in every moment. And so what we wish for all of our human friends to be aware of, to perhaps rest assured of, is that you are all carrying out your cosmic and your earthly incarnations, and that it is not always so important to be aware of 100% of what this looks like, what this is meant to unfold like, but simply to trust that it is unfolding in a multitude of different ways at a multi-dimensional level. But that this multi-dimensionality for many individuals brings many streams of consciousness that are difficult to hold in one focus, in one moment's concentration. And so there is much more that you are here to play out. There is much more energy that you are each here to emanate, to radiate, to broadcast, that you are not consciously aware of. And so simply remember that there are the roles and the aspects of the roles that you are aware of, that you can hold. It is a role that you can show up and participate in fully. But that this, we will say, full participation in the grand scheme of all that you are here to carry out represents but an aspect of all that you are actually doing. And this, our dear one, is where many of your higher selves and your beings will and can lend assistance, is that they are simply here to encourage you to focus on what is within your capability in this moment, that it is not necessary for you to constantly know and understand more than perhaps what is feasible and possible in this moment, but to simply hold the intention that you are actually anchoring and bringing through the greatest love, because love is the foundational building block of all dimensions, of all realities. It is the universal language of all things, of all beings. And so when you are, we will say, upgraded into a place and a vibration of love, this energy allows you to show up 100% of the way in all, we will say, streams of consciousness, even those that you are not aware of. It allows you to be present in a multitude of consciousness, and we will say to tap into different levels and different realms. And this is interesting because this is where the very presence, the very activity of channeling becomes very relevant. It allows every individual to tune into and to tap into energies, wisdom, realities, and experiences that perhaps were not available to them in this level of consciousness. And so channeling opens up a window into your multidimensionality, where every aspect of your essence, every fractal of you is at play. Every part of your essence is in an ongoing state of exchange and interaction with so many more beings and so many more energies. And so this earthly mission is one of many. As this one Kate had explained and mentioned earlier, it is perhaps one layer, one lens, one reflection of your deeper and greater purpose that is playing out in a way that your conscious mind can see and register. But you are all multidimensional. You are all functioning in many ways and on many levels. And so to remember that meditation, channeling, and even for many of you, prayer, moments of stillness, this is where you are in many ways allowed and permitted to connect into those higher realms, to extract information about who you are, what your overarching goal is, not only in this lifetime, but how your light interacts with universal forces, how your light is here to, we will say, carry out a universal plan that you are only partially aware of, but that at a deeper level, the love within you allows you to connect with in ways that your conscious mind may not be able to comprehend. But it is all to say that you are all playing in many arenas, and to simply hold the intention that your heart is as open as possible, for it is the light at the core of your being that ultimately permeates through all of these dimensions, through all of these realms, and allows you to bring the energy that you are meant to bring in, we will say, every realm, every timeline, every experience. It allows you to be, we will say, a much bigger player, for lack of a better word. Does this assist you, our dear ones?
This assists me and us very well. Thank you, Ashtar. As you spoke, I felt the connection to these many of me's and offering them love, the brightness. It's as if I can offer my light and spread it, and it shines and becomes a great, great star in the sky. And so, yes, this is a beautiful benefit. I've been told, and I feel now, that many times we come to choices in our lives, and that really, as we look into our multidimensional nature, as we have seen that there is one of me who has made the other choice, and I have learned what I got to learn through that choice. I experienced what I got to experience through that choice, and I may open up to the intelligence of what that learning was, but I also may offer it gratitude and love and thank it for it being there, it being lived and learned. And thus, this is how I am interpreting some of what you are telling me, but I know that there is more.
There is always more, but what we wish to share with you, our dear one Gwen, is that as you have become aware, you are in fact an energetic bridge, and that this ability for you to tap into these multitudes of realities, not only as it pertains to your own consciousness, your own energies, your own experience, but that in many ways you have become a conduit and a bridge for so many others to help them see into these areas of potential, or these areas of magnitude and potentiality that allows every individual to tap into a higher consciousness. We love the way in which you have described tuning into different possibilities as they are presented to you through choices, through decisions. This is one of many lenses, one of many different ways in which the universe reflects to you and opens different windows. They are all windows of learning. And because you have chosen to open your heart to this higher learning, it has not been withheld from you. And so this is as true for you as it is for so many others. We are also aware of this one, Maureen, and her beautiful being, Edward. He comes with many. He is, we will say, a very powerful being, that the connection between them is very strong. What we simply wish for Maureen and Edward to know is that this experience for, we will say, the two of you and all of your beings is one where you should continue to play. That the more, we would say, conducive you become to the energies of play, the more you lower your inhibitions. And this is true for all. Moving into, we will say, a realm of discovery is one that automatically opens you up to a higher realm of consciousness, because in that moment, it is your belief and your intention that you are here to discover, and that discovery is an inherent part of your process, of your journey, of your unfolding. When one, we will say, takes on the energy of playing, in many ways they are reconnecting with the innocence of childhood. And children, in many ways, they are so beautifully connected in an effortless way because they have not yet learned to shoulder or take on any inhibitions. They simply move through their experience in an untethered way. And as such, they are open gateways and doors to many different realms, many different energies. And so all those of you who have now reached adulthood, what we remind you, what we invite you to do is to remember, we will say, the most playful times in your childhood, and that this will instantly carry you to a realm, an energetic way of being that will automatically open you up to the highest and greatest potential, to the best choice as it pertains to you. And it allows you to move through these realms free of judgment, free of inhibitions. For judgment and inhibitions are energies that we shoulder. They are not energies that you come into this incarnation with. And so these are energies that are built up and that many of you are invited to simply become aware of, to learn to move through, to push past. And we will say that a safeguard for this, a sure way to reconnect with your true authentic energy, is by reconnecting with that childlike curiosity, the innocence. And this is a way in which your energy becomes expansive. Your entire energetic field reconfigures in a way that allows, for many of you, as you understand it, to be your Merkaba. That is a configuration, a way in which your energetic field holds a vibration that makes it easier for you to receive, to see, to perceive, to sense, and to experience what lies beyond all of your senses, and allows you to truly feel at a metaphysical level what your soul and essence are capable of feeling, experiencing, and gleaning at a deeper level. And so we love how you have described, our dear one, this ability to, we will say, tap into a multitude of dimensions. Some may tune into these dimensions through meditation and stillness, but remember, it is about moving into the space with an open heart and learning to connect with feelings and memories of love. And for many, the bridge and the gateway to this way of holding your energetic space is sometimes by remembering a time in which they perhaps moved into an experience with childlike curiosity, with an appetite for untethered discovery and exploration.
Ashtar, thank you so much for your words. I feel this beautiful, loving partnership as I am so dedicated to what I call soul play. And what you just described is my vision of it. Being in a situation and saying, I remember when, love offered me a new choice. What was that? What was that new way of looking at this? And seeing into how love offered me that, and it transforming my present experience. Things such as this are the beauty of what our opportunity is now, what we can engage in when we play together. When we play together and honor love, and that we are here to grow, to learn. For me, my dedication feels like I am so dedicated to find new ways that love can express itself. that we unchain ourselves from the idea of what love is to actually being love and acting in and through love. I feel this is a part of my mission on Earth. And there is one here also, Sandy Songjoy. She is my friend. I was just wondering, and this is what's coming through me, is if there is a blessing you could offer her in her life, because she's going through some transitions. And I was wondering if you could offer her a blessing.
We can. And in this moment, we are being joined by many of Kate's beings. And what we wish this one, Sandy, to know is that in this moment, there is a beautiful sacred space, a formation of light all around her, that she is upheld in this energetic space. The message that is coming through as we are tuning into her higher self in this moment is that she will absolutely push through this. And what is being shown, this is a beautiful visual that is coming through to this one, Kate, is that it is the analogy or the metaphor of the butterfly, that in this moment that she is being cocooned. There is a cocooning on some level. And within this cocoon, there is a spiritual metamorphosis that is underway. And that in this cocoon, as she is fully aware, she is looking at choices, people and situations in her life that she now understands. Although consciously she sees that they no longer serve her. However, what we always wish to remind every individual is that every situation in your life plays a beautiful role. It is a masterpiece of synergies. It is a coming together, an interconnection of people, experiences, and energies that all allow you to move through the metamorphosis, and that you will emerge from this cocoon in time, and that in many ways you will soar. You will find an aspect and a part of yourself that perhaps you feel was lost, but that will reemerge. And when it does, it will be stronger than ever. And so there still is much for you to look forward to, that there will be much for you to connect with and to be excited for. Simply give yourself the time to feel, to acknowledge and be present with your feelings. And it is by learning to be present with those feelings that you learn not to fear them, but that you learn to transmute them from the inner levels through your own heart, through your own strength, through this wisdom that you are already so beautifully connected to. Believe in the power of your own heart as the first and primary source of all transmutation. That transmutation is a process, that it is one that must be honored, and that every moment, be it difficult or pleasant, is a gift, for it all moves to shape your experience, to shape your soul. And for you, our dear one, learning to let go and learning to forgive, our dear one Sandy, is part of, we will say, an overarching soul lesson, and that you have moved into this with such strength and grace to remember that you have all that you need to continue to move forth. You are supported and you are loved.
Thank you so much for that blessing, Ashtar, and all of you with Kate who are offering this message. We will be coming to a close, but I will be inviting the Warriors of Light to speak. But before we do that, I wanted to thank the other people who are here and have been present with us and offer blessings to you in love and light. Thank you for your presence on the earth. Thank you for your attendance. Thank you all who are listening here. And I wish to share a message with you in gratitude, Ashtar, and your other guides here, Kate, if that is considered of you and if you would like that.
We would very much like that. And what we will simply say in closing is to remember the interconnection of our hearts with yours and of the connection of light between all of your hearts, that this is truly what creates the energetic field through which you are all catapulted into a higher frequency of love. It is always through the heart. This is where all learning must be gleaned. And so we have been honored to be present. And we now hand over the word to you, our dear one, Gwen.
Thank you so much. I am honored and feel so blessed. I will just take one moment and hello. We are the Warriors of Light, present and expressed through the dragons. Through and as the dragons, we speak to you in conscious love for what was spoken previously about the learning in the heart is true. And this center within each of us is essential for us to come to understand. As we do so, we learn in great ways, we expand in many ways, and we see new possibilities. There are some here who are in presence who would say, I will push away what is in my heart. I do not want to feel emotion. I do not want to think of others. I do not want to feel like I am bound to serve others. But as you enter into your heart and find the spaces that are tied up in this belief, tied up in the chains, and you release them, you will see the expansive nature of the heart. You will see the many possibilities that are here awaiting for you. And this we encourage you to do. For as you explore in this manner, you will see and find the many ways you may love, the many ways you may show up for yourself and others, the many new possibilities that are present as you do so. For as you do so, the ideas that the world shared with you and said had to be will simply fall away. You will see them as constructs of the mind. You will see them as things that you simply agreed to, or agreed in some manner for them to appear and be in your world, and you will simply create a new one. We say this in a loud voice. We say it so you can hear and you can enter into this in simple ways, in simple ways. Just as you get up in the morning and make your meal, you may choose to do it in a new way. You may choose to sing a song to your food. You may choose to connect with it and feel where it has come from. You may choose to hear it in the consciousness that you may imbue within it. And as you do so, you may do this in other instances of your life. You may imbue consciousness and joy in all around you. This is simply one little joy you may do, one little play you may play at. As you are within your heart and you see the expansive nature of all that you are. We send a prayer to all of you who are here. If you feel bound in certain ways, that you will see the way to untie yourselves. You will see the spots, the ideas that said you had to act in a certain way. These ideas often are ingrained in one through experience of crisis. And as you enter that experience of crisis and offer it love and wholeness and say you are there with it, these bonds will simply break and you will become free. And you will offer this freeness to all around you and the many aspects of what you are. This is what we decided to say to you all, for Gwen expressed this experience of seeing into these many aspects of herself and offering up love to it. For every action she takes now is an offering for these beings. Whatever intelligence she experiences, whatever new ways of love she comes to know, it is offered up to them. And as she offers it up to them, they offer up to her. And we then become bound in love, one being, unified and whole. This is an example of the actual experience we are all in now, but it is seen and experienced in many grand and vast ways. But you as a human, you may come to a synthesis and understanding of this in body form, and this is one of the powerful ways of being a human. So we encourage you all, we suggest and we hope, we invite enlightenment within all of you, for you are the light, you are the spark. You simply must open and see, and you will see into the ways you may, and remove the blocks that say you are not. And we leave this blessing with all of you. All of you are here who will listen. And we say this and we leave it with the seal of heaven. We say so in the name of the holies, all of the holies. And we, as the warriors of light, we carry the signature of the Christ consciousness. And so we leave this in the name of Christ. And we leave and we seal this to all of you in love, in word, for we are the word. And we offer this in love. Aho. All right. Whew. That was fun.
What a beautiful message. I felt that energy. That was palpable and incredible.
Yeah. It was so beautiful to me feeling it. And I still feel this presence with me too. When Ashtar started talking and I was feeling this connection, it felt literally like the message that he was sharing was in support, knowing my mission, knowing my divine mission. And I literally felt, and I still feel it kind of being his arms around me in the back, just hugging me, and saying, I love you. And I know what you are here for. So what a beautiful feeling, just kind of this acknowledgement of, I know you even beyond what you can see now, right?
They see all of you. Yes.
Yeah.
Every aspect.
Yeah. I think that's so beautiful. What a beautiful gift we can experience as we open in these ways. We open to these loving guides that are here for us. And I want to thank Ashtar for his mission, for his dedication, for it is obvious and I feel it, his presence on the earth, and for all who are here in support. Whoo, I just felt this huge array as I said that. All who are here in support and in love. What a beautiful family. It feels like this loving, loving family who are just so lovingly watching over and being willing to guide in
They
whatever.
are. And they're always very grateful at the opportunity to shine through. I know that they've been here with me for a few days. I always jokingly say, y'all better show up. And they do. And they come, they're like the high school kids that bring more people to the party than you want. It's usually a much bigger audience than what you anticipate, but it's such a high frequency. And I always feel Ashtar and the beings through my heart. And I've come to learn that, the days that I channel Ashtar, I'm going to be holding a high frequency because this is what he comes with, and it stays with us. So I'm so glad, Gwen, that you were able to feel it in your heart and really just be with that. He comes with such heart.
Yeah, he is a beautiful being, and I honor that. And I got to say too, there's been so many transitions from in my body and my system. I'm going through these huge renewals, and I sat down and I was like, my connection is different. I don't know if, I was feeling things completely different. And I'm like, whew, well, they showed up, And
so, we have to trust that they're going to show up. This is what they love to do. And when I feel their energy, there's such a gratitude to all of us who, it doesn't matter if we're channeling them or not, but we're just open to being present with them. We acknowledge them. We recognize our connection with them.
That's
beautiful. As beings of the universe.
Yeah. We're all here together, and that could be a whole other topic, but I am so grateful for you sharing your time with me, Kate, and I will go ahead and share with us how people can contact you, and I'll make sure to have those in the notes for people so that they can contact you. And go ahead and share today.
Absolutely. I am and can be found at ascensioncalling.com. If anyone goes to Ascension Calling, they will see me along with my dear friend and business partner, Karen Haywood, who's a wonderful energy healer. We offer services. We also have a lot of free channeled messages going back from many, many years. And we do have a free monthly newsletter. So I always encourage people to check out the website, see if and how we can be of assistance, and even just to tune into the channelings. They're usually very reflective of what's happening within the human collective, what people need to know and understand in this moment. There are many more channelings from Ashtar, but there are also a lot of channelings from many other collectives. They always come through, and I always invite whatever collective or being needs to come through with whatever message they feel is going to benefit the all. So those messages I find are very profound. You can read them, you can listen to them, whatever tickles your fancy, but they are here for you.
Perfect. I love that.
Thank you, Gwen.
You're so welcome. Ascension Calling, everyone, go ahead and check it out. And before we leave, if you've enjoyed this conversation, please put a thumbs up, leave a comment, subscribe. The kind of devotion it takes to put on something like this is quite a lot. And we're hoping that this offering blesses you in some way. And that's one way you can pay it forward. I guess you can say, pay it forward, pay it forward. We're going to leave this in love with all of you. And until the next session of Welcome to Channeling, be safe and own your stage and play on. Okay, everyone? This is what I'm going to leave you with. And here we go. It's the end. Click the link below to receive your very own free soul play meditation, reboot, or soul song. Thank you for joining us on this episode of Welcome to Channeling. Till the next episode, own your stage and play on. Hot Muffin Media.